Friday the 7th of January. A light overnight coating of sleety snow sees me going to Todmorden, and this time the gates to the Unitarian church are open, so I thought I'd start the walk with a few little close-ups. It might not come through on a wide-angle GoPro, but it's quite a magnificent piece of church architecture from the second half of the 19th century. Again, I mentioned it in a little more detail in one of the earlier videos on this channel. The financiers of this project being the Field and Sons. As a local resident, I could get an interview for the channel. No press. Not easy being a roving reporter. So after conditions, nigh on perfect conditions on Wednesday for the circuit of Whernside and Ingleborough, my expectations are set slightly lower today. I think frequent sleet, snow showers, visibility, let's say it's going to be slightly below average. I still think there'll be something of interest in close-ups and sequences, and it's good countryside all the same. So the GoPro's out and I'll see what I can assemble in terms of footage at the end of it. So I mentioned earlier that was the field and financed Unitarian church at Todmorden. I'm now again repeating the route in an earlier video. I'm going towards the Shepherd's Rest Inn, then I'll strike up to Gaddings Dam, the highest beach in Britain, and then head for the old favourite Stoodley Pike for a early lunch spot of 11s. There, that little sleet shower didn't last too long. It might be sunny before too long. The Shepherd's Rest Country Inn there. Panning over, you can see Stoodley Pike. And yeah, the Shepherd's Rest was the headquarters for a fell race that I did 2 or 3 times in the early to middle 90s, which was called the Shepherd's Skyline. And that was I can't remember who the organising club, but it was a late autumn, early winter kind of event, and the conditions could vary from one year to the next. I mean, that's common to all fell running, but certainly at that time of the year you could have 10 degrees and raining one year, lots of mud and bogs, and then the year later everywhere could be frozen hard and you're getting flurries of sleet and snow. Quite a challenge. And I recall it starting somewhere just ahead there on the left. And my first year I got horrendously boxed in. That the field was funneled through a little narrow cutting, so if you didn't assert yourself at the beginning, you could barely run for the first, felt like a long time, but let's say half a mile, and kind of you were always conscious of that, trying to get the time back. So you had to sort of start with your best 800-metre Cohen Ovet head and be prepared to run the half mile of your life to get a good position and then hold it. Oh, Dear me. So what I'll be doing now is heading up there to those rocks for the route to Gaddings. Well, this day is shaping up quite nicely. Good enough to put the sunglasses on. I can see sharp focus. Wonderful. What a transformative effect. Have a look over there at the wind farms, which lie on the moors between Yorkshire and Lancashire. And behind me we have the steps to Gaddings Dam. I suppose I should run up here like Rocky going to Philadelphia City Hall or something, but a more sedate pace is called for. Wonderful conditions. Bit of ice on those steps, yep, and the beach has a light coating of snow. Moderate waves on the dam. Not bad at all. There looks to be some darker stuff coming across from Rochdale area, but this is better than I expected a mile or two ago. The wind's blowing now and I'm going to have to get a warmer hat. This one is not stopping this kind of breeze. So a little clothing change and then I go on my merry way. So I've connected with the Pennine Way, which is one of the big famous long distance footpaths. The White House is in that direction. That's the main Ripondon to Littleborough Road, and the White House is a famous old coaching inn which sits atop the pass, and I'm heading for Stoodley Pike, as I said earlier. You can see hopefully some of the wind farms again behind. They're a regular feature of these parts. The weather's just closing in again. We're getting some light flurries of snow. You can see at the side of me here, all these are reservoir water conduits, because there is a reservoir almost at the top of Blackstone Edge near the White House. Lots of engineering. Not much chance of falling in the culverts, he says. So I should be okay. the one of the last inclines now before a flat plod towards Stoodley Pike and the monument. Little time-lapse cloud sequence where I had to hold the tripod down, you might have gathered that it's pretty windy, but the views are spectacular. Look at this. And I'm just sheltered at the moment. Look at the full force of the wind around this corner. Plastering of snow. Right, I'm going to find somewhere a little more sheltered and grab a spot of lunch. Well, that was quite spectacular in terms of winter conditions there. Very pleasing. You can see I'm heading now towards Hebden Bridge, leaving Stoodley Pike behind. Still a few flurries of fresh snow, but the wind's quite cold. I've gone for my like, can we see, I've got some windstopper gauntlet gloves now instead of the little thin red ones, and I'm still sort of toying over putting a shell on. I think as I'm on the descent now, I think it was any higher and I'd be sort of exposed to those conditions for any longer, I'd certainly need a shell. It's thought-provoking conditions. Yeah, I love it. The forecast for tomorrow shows things warming up again. I think temperatures by early afternoon of 7 or 8, rain, so I don't think there's a lot of opportunities tomorrow for getting out and enjoying the winter, but this has been a superb bonus walk. Absolutely beautiful sunlight here. All kinds of contrast with the snow against the reed grasses, dry stone walls. Tremendous. I would have switched to cinematic mode, but I've got 2 pairs of gloves on at the moment, and a little touch screen doesn't work with that. But I think standard mode should do it justice. Well, this has been a tremendous outing. Another little snow flurry now. I'm just about to say goodbye to Stoodley Pike. I think I've got about half an hour to Hebden Bridge Station. I'll look at the train times later, but they're quite plentiful. So yeah, it's been a unexpected bonus. I thought after Wednesday's wintry outing in limestone country, this would be a bit too hard of a come down, but no, not at all. Calderdale holds its own. So, as is the keeping, I'll sign off for this video and see you next time.